morning, everyone. Welcome to Talking Horses. Andy Sterling, my partner, Anthony Stabile, John Kakamis, the cameraman. He had some stuff to say as we were going on
like
air.
a Saratoga show.
It really is. It's a real throwback
It's warm
show.
out. It's 43 degrees.
Nice to be back in action. We haven't raced since last Friday. We had a pick six carryover we'll talk about. Lot to talk about. There are some big scratches on today's card. Unusual. I didn't get to see them until late. So some stuff to talk about. Yeah, we did a podcast with Hector Soler, who's our starter here at the New Ira. It was great.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it was great. It was really. Yeah, it'll coming out later today.
Hector's a good guy.
Well, no, it was great hearing about his life and how he got involved with racing and just his whole career in racing. It was really great. So, hope you get a chance to listen to that. We'll of course tweet out for me and across the board as well our pods. That'll be out a little bit later. You need to head over to NYRA Bets once again. Keep Stabile employed.
Love it.
Become a member of NYRA Bets. If you're not a member, who knows? You might wither away to nothing.
KSE.
Use the promo code bonus200. Sign up for NYRA Bets. Ooh, we're in a big hurry to get through these here. So once you've signed up for NYRA Bets, you can enjoy all the many great things it has to offer. $15 bonus, 50 each or more at Aqueduct and Turf Paradise today. I actually saw Turf Paradise a little bit. I was watching The Grifters, where they filmed some stuff at Turf Paradise, actually.
Fantastic
$15
movie.
It was a tremendous movie. All those Thompson books are great. We also have 10 times points on Exactas at Gulfstream Park. So 10 times points, play Exactas, earn 10 times points. At Gulfstream, also, we have some extra points if you want to play Dubai. I believe Hot Rod Charlie running tomorrow in Dubai.
Yeah,
he starts at 9:30 in the morning.
Taking on Quip.
Oh, Quip.
And
Quip.
Everfast is out there.
Quip a Kieran horse from about 30 years ago?
Quip was Rodolphe Brisset.
Oh, yeah.
And then
he won the Derby? He was in Derby Prep, so
Yeah.
Preakness or something, maybe?
Preakness. I think he skipped the Derby for the Preakness.
Wow.
And Everlast?
Yeah, if you ever wonder where horses went, they're over in
Dubai.
They're over in the Middle East somewhere doing a tour.
10 times the point stuff.
Pick six carryover, 31,130. Very symmetric. I thought it was 31,313, but it's 31,130. Okay, got that, and that starts in race number 4. Race number 1. We will go to the replay, and I think the race number 1 has a little bit of a hint towards the Withers, because one of the favorites in the Withers will be Constitutional Lawyer, who won this race. Long-term ran well behind him, and he's going to be an overwhelming favorite here. He's only 4-5. I thought he'd be lower.
We still got over an hour. I think
I thought he'd be one of these horses to be 1-9 when we started this. He got bet like he couldn't lose this race.
And he lost.
He did get down to the good rail in the stretch, but he was forced to chase a horse that did have everything go for him. And Constitutional Lawyer, he's pretty good, and he finally broke out of the gate, and that's what made the difference for him.
This was a fast race, right? Fast race on a wet track, and both of these horses ran. I thought they both ran well. As you know, see long term get a little tired at the end. He gets a little distance relief coming back to the mile in here, and I mean, you would assume that unless the firster can really, really run, or a horse like Improper, I guess, who you did put on top, improved second time out, and I would imagine long term is going to be tough to beat
I
today.
was talking to David Aragona last night. Of course, David's our morning line maker, and he made them 3-5 and 2-1. And I kind of thought they'd be a little bit of a bigger disparity. Now, David's usually right about these things, and I said to David, if Improper was 2-1, I probably would. I'd actually maybe prefer long term at 3-5. I thought there might be a bigger disparity. I thought they might really load up on long term, big figure.
They could.
As far as Improper, the rail was very good early in the day. That day, at the very least, and he lost another Ray Handle horse. Both these horses finished behind Ray Handle horses, I believe. From Another Mother is waiting for the Gotham.
That's correct.
Yeah, and we of course wish the best to Jose Mejia, who works for Ray Handle, who suffered an injury, I believe, down at Turfway Park, and was reading about that. I'm sure some of you read about that, and of course send best wishes to Jose and all the people with Ray, and it's a tough situation for sure. With Improper, I just thought this horse was wide last time, sort of chasing behind or a little bit off the rail at the very least. He was too wide, and he went 2 to 3 wide. I just thought he ran well enough behind a horse that had everything go for him, that's pretty darn good. The figure was fast enough that he's not that far off of long term. And if they end up being 2-5 and 7-2, I'd rather bet Improper. 3-5 and 2-1, I'm not as interested if they end up at David's morning line. But I think he might be I think he's as viable alternative as David's morning line suggests. I thought they might just go hog wild for long term here.
Perhaps. They could.
But I don't know. I mean, I lean towards David because he's usually right about these things.
I'm curious to see how much money pathological the number 2 takes. First time on the dirt for Danny Gargan. Blinkers, of course, is a newly turned 3-year-old. He gets Lasix. He gets Jose Lezcano. I'm curious to see how much money this horse takes.
It's arguably
into
more of a
those two.
dirt pedigree on this horse than
Yeah.
there's a half to a turf horse, right? But that horse had a big turf sire, I think.
Right. We had talked about this, and this horse was a gigantic price first time out, and he actually didn't run that badly. He only got beat 5 lengths, and you wonder if he's right on the right surface today, and he's got a couple of months now to mature from 2 to 3. What kind of an impact he can have.
How much can he take, though, in the face of the 6, 5, and 6?
You're right.
That's the thing.
You're right.
And
You're
I mean,
right.
honestly, to be 6 to 1 in here means he's taking money.
Well,
and
that's what I mean.
He
If
is sort of the
he's
other horse.
5, 6 to 1, if he's where he is now, I mean, is that a sign that he's a little live? It
No,
could be.
I don't. I think it is what it is. I think he's going to take some money. He's their alternative, as you say. He's also got a 63 buyer. A lot of people just look at figs. They're not looking at where surface
Right.
they run on.
Yeah.
You know, we're very surface dependent, but a lot of people aren't. And
his
usually it's
fig-
an edge, but people
His
look.
fig's not so far from impropers.
Big scratch in race number 2 with St. Luke's coming out for Rudy, who was going to be, if not the favorite, certainly one of the favorites
Mike
in this
Maselli.
race.
He was claimed
I'm
from
sorry,
Rudy,
for Mike
yeah.
Maselli, claimed from Rudy, excuse me.
I thought the same thing for some reason. I don't know what it was. Like the names just kept getting flip-flopped for me as well.
So you're going to try to wire the field with, I love the name, Len Franco file.
Yeah, and Franco, just hoping that needed the first start off the 10 weeks last time.
Well,
stretching out to the mile,
no.
chasing.
Well, the horse chased a 2 to 5 shot
Yeah.
for Chad Brown last
Oh,
time.
yeah, no,
Being
listen,
the star,
Bruce-
the horse ran fine. The horse only blew second because they were trying to win the race.
Horse came out of a good effort, and no excuse, no reason to hold getting tired. They went really fast up front, and yeah, I'm just hoping to bottom this field out.
Yeah, no, I can see that logic. Obviously, I picked the horse second. I was going to try to beat St. Luke's, so I'm sorry to see that horse comes out. I just want Convertible Freeze in this race, and we'll take a look at Convertible Freeze's win last time. I know this horse was claimed by Jimmy Ryerson from Brad Cox, and listen, it's not easy to claim from Brad Cox, but this horse really came alive. It makes you feel like the first race, which was against, at least at that time, what seemed like a pretty strong field. This horse ran.
Took money the first time out too, 5 to 1.
Well, a Brad Cox first-time star is going to take money in a New York bred race. I don't know what kind of, how big is that higher or lower than the expectations for any first-time star for Brad Cox? This horse ran, and this horse clearly appreciated more distance, and I just thought it was a very, very logical horse. And you know, obviously the 4 is faster. We'll see how close he can be because even though he was forwardly placed, I'll see how much speed he has. But maybe he's faster. You know, his last race is more reliable, determinant of where he's going to be than his other races.
Fair enough. That's fair enough.
What about Hot Shopper, the number 6, Hot Stepper, excuse me? I'm a little bit skeptical, and I think it's important to talk about that race because that race is going to have a big effect on today's last race today, and maybe that's an inclination, an indication of what you want to do a little bit with the last race if he runs well. In here, I thought he got just a tremendous ride from Trevor and took advantage of circumstance to win the race.
Trevor was able to get him to the inside in the stretch and just.
It wasn't a fair. It was a very fair racetrack, though, the 9th.
That was the Sunday.
Yeah, that was Sunday the 9th. He ran a Class AJ, who he beat. Is Class AJ in the last race today? I think he might. No. He is not. He was a huge price in there. I don't know. I'm skeptical, and I think
Rudy was the favorite, and there was a little push
the
on
horse
the
who's in the last race
horse
today.
who was
Yeah. They're both in the last race today. We'll see. Obviously, he's a horse who can win, and I think if he runs big today, it's probably not a bad indication for today's last race.
He's they went a pretty good clip last time, and I do wonder how fast this pace is going to be.
Well, that's the thing.
I guess going the mile will help him a little bit, but
Why?
well, getting a little bit more ground can
That doesn't necessarily help him.
It doesn't necessarily help him, but it could. If
could hurt him.
It could. I'm just thinking it pulls him into the race a little bit more. They probably won't go as fast, or maybe he doesn't have to drop as far out as he was on the stretch a little bit. I don't know. He's kind of slow early, this horse.
Your horse
which is
clearly
the
has a
problem.
big tactical advantage,
Yeah.
though, in this race, and we'll see. He probably is able to outrun Ginsu Warrior unless Kendrick is especially aggressive. Race number 3. I'm curious to see in race number 3 how short a price Default Protection is. We'll take a look at her last race, and are people going to see, oh, the track's got moisture in it today. She got a wet track last time. She ran. There's no doubt about it, but she's meeting a pretty experienced field of fairly solid fillies and mares in here, and this is a significant jump up for this horse. Chad Brown wins at a high percentage. Here's his numbers off of maiden wins on the dirt. He's 41 for 143, 28%, which is tremendous to come off maiden wins like that. But it's $1.61 ROI. And that's not a bad ROI because he's around the takeout. It's $1.70 with routers where he's 25 for 85, 29%. And those are tremendous numbers to come off maiden wins, but you're not making money betting these horses. And it feels like this horse is going to be strongly favored because of the blowout win and Chad Brown. And she's beating some pretty decent horses here.
She's not only meeting some pretty decent horses in here, but she beat a suspect bunch last time.
Where the favorite didn't even show
which
up. Favorite
included
was basically
a
eased.
barn mate
Was eased.
who was eased.
Yeah.
Who hadn't run in like 9 months. So
She ran a big figure.
She did, and she won by the length of the stretch.
But you're right. I mean, she was essentially, she's in a one-horse race.
Right,
I mean, honestly,
you got
it was a walkover.
you got 8-10 on her, but if you you had a strong opinion against the
forget about
favorite.
that. But
you should have got $4 on her.
well,
so
turned out she should have paid $2.10.
Right.
But that doesn't deny that she ran well.
It does not. But obviously you have a third, I have a second. I mean, I would imagine, and you want to take a shot against her, but I mean, Vienna Code has turned into a pretty nice man.
We'll show her winning 2 back when she beat Honey Money, who came back to win.
Yeah.
Now, when Honey Money won last time, I liked Honey Money, but her only competition in that race, talking about races where competition didn't show up, was basically eased around the turn, and she still desperately won. And I wonder if she really, really wants this mile, but I don't have a knock on Vienna Code. She's on the rail last time. It's the place to be, but that mile and 8th race fell apart.
Kind of found herself on the lead just because there was no pace in the race.
She's very logical, this horse.
She'll get to sit, I would think, a more comparable trip to the one she's used to sitting, a couple of lengths off the lead. And, I would imagine Default Protection is going to be forward. Obviously, Honey Money is always forward. We'll see what
Honey Money's going to go. I think your horse will be sitting second.
Yeah.
I'm going to try Courageous Girl. And I'll tell you something else about Courageous Girl. Well, you don't have it in the top 4.
Can I
bet that she'll beat Blushable?
No, I'm not going to bet that. I didn't know what to do with her.
Well, see, in my opinion, she's significantly improved since she went to Ratio de Paz, and I don't think it's really reflected in her races. If she runs her race that she ran 3 back, I think she's going to be extremely tough to beat in this race. And the other thing is, she's had more speed since she went to Horacio, and she's been running better since she went more forward. 2 races back, I mean, she's chasing Goodnight Olive. She ran second in there. Nobody was going to come close to that horse. If that horse can stay sound, she's a stakes quality horse. And last time out, she ran that souped up speed track, inside track, Eloquent Speaker, Bank Sting. I mean, she's in a different category than them, and she couldn't be forward in there. I think she makes a lot of sense, especially if the racetrack is fair. And I thought she'd be a fair enough price. But I think this is, I won't be shocked by. I don't really like Honey Money. I think this is a much tougher spot than she's been in. It's funny. Hector was talking about Honey Money a little bit in the podcast, and he was saying when she first came around, Linda had her. He can't believe, she never gets the races, basically. He was talking about how, she was just a tough horse to get to behave, and it must be very satisfying. It is satisfying to see her do so well. I just thought the other 3 were a little bit better than her.
Yeah.
And Blushable, I thought, won. Because by the way, Blushable also won a race where the favorite was basically eased. Suspended campaign.
But all that barn's horses are running.
I know, they're running, but this is a big jump up for this horse.
I don't disagree.
Race number 4, which kicks off the pick 6, carryover, $31,000. Had to wait a long time. We have made a fortune in interest on that $31,000 over the last 5 days.
Handy.
At
130.
That third of a point of interest, or maybe a quarter of a point interest, annualized. I mean, I actually think we might have made 3 cents. I could be wrong. I haven't done the total math.
I'm disappointed in you. Normally that math would be
Well, let's
done.
do the math. The math would be $310 over the course of a year.
Your mouth
At
sometimes. Just keep it
1%, it would be $310.
Right.
So at the average rate, so now we're talking about $62 over the course of a year. So we were 1/70th of it. So yeah, I got that about right. It was about 90. So we made just under 90 cents.
You said 3 cents.
We got 90 cents. 90 cents. I want a piece of that 90 cents. And I think we should add it to the pool, don't you? You remember people used to say that with carryovers?
Well, we used to have 57 cents, right? We used to have the weird number at the end.
We do have 57 cents. We do, actually. But people would say, oh, they're making all that money, with like the Rainbow Six with the money sitting there, making all that interest on it. I love that. As though, whatever they are. All those idiots. As though, by the way, that's the bad thing about a jackpot bet. That a racetrack's making the money, putting the money in the bank. That's what makes the jackpot bets bad, right? The worst, most disgraceful thing that has been introduced into racing in my lifetime. And that's the thing that some people think makes it bad. There's only about 800 things worse about
Got
it.
a haircut.
No. I lost all my hair while I've been gone. It all finally just all
I
fell
put some
out.
product in mine.
Just all,
You like it?
no, it looks awful actually. It looks like
You're the first one to give me a
Johnny.
name.
It looks like he's wearing like a hat, right? It looks like a rug.
Here we go.
You look like a rug.
Here we go.
It does. By the way, I have no au natural, no product in my hair.
Yeah.
None. No product in the 7 hairs I have left.
Unbelievable. Former barber of Andy Sterling, by the way.
You noticed halfway through I got a haircut.
I'm probably one of the 15 or 20 people in life that have cut your hair.
Very much shorter. Much shorter. Saratoga, Lou Baffardi cut my hair in Saratoga for
Oh,
years.
for years?
People will remember Lou
So maybe
and
10 people.
Saratogians. I don't know. Well, I've got Christina and the Beauty Society in Malta. If you need a hair, get your hair done in Saratoga.
We're gonna have to
there's
figure
no
this
better
out now.
place
So
than
we've raised money
the
cutting
Beauty
hair and
Society.
playing mini golf. What's next?
Beauty Society, you. But I got my man Speedy actually cuts my hair, and he's fast. And
My man Ruben cuts my hair in Franklin.
all right, race number 4, kicking off the pick 6. Let's talk about the horses coming out, and Rumjar scratched, unfortunately, would have taken money, and he had no chance. Price was Rumjar in the morning line. It's going to annoy me.
4 to 1.
He was really a complete throwout. And we'll show you the head-on of the start before showing the race.
I don't like him either, by the
And
way, for the record.
Rumjar is the number 6 here, and Anthony's worth the 5. He's going to take the brunt of it. The number 3 horse was Our Shot. Also breaks a little slowly in there, but Rumjar really badly affected your horse, the 5. And my opinion in this race is
It kept happening, by the
you
way,
don't
afterwards.
want Cathedral Beach, who broke from the outside here. Because Cathedral Beach, and if you want to stop this around the turn, you can feel free. Cathedral Beach had the perfect run. He didn't get in any trouble. Your horse got in trouble, got knocked back badly, had to make that big wide middle move, which he made. And he was bet that day for Gustavo.
He was.
And he's the one who took the brunt of it. Our Shot, he had a little bit of trouble, but he saved ground. He just broke slow. He didn't get the brunt of the trouble, but the horse who had the trouble is your horse, Check That Chip. And I don't want Cathedral Beach, because even though he ran the best, he ran the biggest fig, he just had the easiest trip of all of these.
Okay.
And I think the other 2 are the right
I'm
2
not going to
horses,
hold.
if you want either
See,
one.
I see what you're saying about that. I'm just not going to hold the fact, because I thought he ran well enough. I'm not going to hold the fact that he had a good trip against him.
Well, I just think I'd rather have the other horse.
That's
And
fine.
I don't like this race. See, I think this was
Right,
a terrible
obviously.
race. I think this was a terrible race. And the horse who won is not very good. He got loose in the lead. The track was playing towards speed. Rumjar had the perfect trip up the inside. He caused the trouble at the start. And I'm just not sure this was a very good race. That's my problem with it. But I do agree with you that the horse you want out of this race is the 5.
I just want the horse that had the trouble. He gets a pair of blinkers today. Again, newly turned 3, so he gets the Lasix for the first time. Caught a real sloppy track that day, so he'll get on a little bit of a better ground. And
Well, he gets a similar track, but I don't think that makes any
hopefully he gets a
difference
better trip.
whatsoever. I think he's the one that you want out of that race. And I think the vast majority of people, anybody that pays attention to trips, is going to take this horse. I don't like that race. You obviously disagree because you're all over that race,
I'm all
and
over the
I don't
race.
agree at all. I like Actualize in here, and I hope that a lot of people see that Actualize came out of a 40 claimer. It's a small sample, obviously, but where it's worth, off the claim, maiden dirt, those are all at NYRA. Charlie's claimed 7, and 3 of them have won. And I tell you something, Charlie Baker is an extremely sharp guy, not just a good trainer, but he's sharp. And I mean, this is a guy who claimed Palace, won grade 1s with him. There's
Joking.
Joking.
Palace was Linda.
Palace was Linda, excuse me, you're right. Yeah, Linda claimed that horse from Windstar and Bill Mott, as a matter of fact. You're right. Horse claimed Joking. And you look at this horse. A James Chapman first-time star that was 13 to 1 in a 5-horse field that cost $12,000. You'd have to think only an idiot would claim this
Right.
horse,
Well,
right? I mean,
lunatic, idiot,
you-
whatever
crazy,
you want, whatever bad
would
word you
think
want to use.
If somebody said to you, "I'm going to claim," you'd say, "You better
Probably
have
the
some."
last horse in the race
you
you would've
better have
claimed.
some story on this horse, or you're out of your mind. Right. I would say, forgetting about all that, whether you think, because I was sharp to claim the horse. If you or I,
The
we
least
said
likely horse
if
to be
one of us
claimed out
said
of
the
the
other
race.
one, I'm talking horse, I think this horse is going to get claimed. The other one would have said, you're an idiot
Yeah.
if you think this horse is going to get claimed.
Yes.
So, and this horse set, and Trackers has that first quarter fast. They have the same fraction for the first quarter. This horse ran off at the start and was still hanging around at the end. We've seen the winner come back and run 1 point lower. We saw the second horse come back and win, running 7 buyer points higher. This is a legit race, and people are going to see that maiden claiming race And maybe they don't realize that it's every bit as fast as the maiden special weight now. And I think there's a weak. See, I think that was a weak maiden special, and I think this is a very good maiden claimer. And I think this horse
You think this is a weak maiden special?
No. I think those horses are coming out of a weak maiden special.
Gotcha.
Rumjar ran
5, 6,
second.
7,
He's
5,
running
6,
a maiden
5, 6,
40.
7. Gotcha.
So I think it was a maiden 40 waiver because it was a Maryland bred, but
Right.
nonetheless, not really a maiden claimer. So I like him. I will tell you something. This Jimmy Jerkins, Capone this is a dangerous horse.
Okay.
This horse worked extremely well despite bearing out badly in the work down at Timonium. And this is a very dangerous first-time starter because I'll tell you something. Who are the killers in here we're supposed to be afraid of?
No, if you're right about the December 30th race, his stock rises.
Yeah, I think this horse is very dangerous. I think the inside horses, you and I saw this race very differently. You like the horses out of the December 30th race. I do not, though I agree that you have the right horse on top. We'll see how it plays out. An interesting start to the pick 6 carryover. Race number 5 closes out the early pick 5, starts the late pick 5. We'll start out and show Stanhope's last race. Why don't you talk about Stanhope while we're showing?
He's just faster than these horses, isn't he?
He's got to outrun Brock Boninoff.
Yeah, I think he can do that.
I think he's faster too, but it's close.
Yeah, I think he can do that, and I think that could very well be enough. I think you always.
You have any thoughts on this race he's running?
I thought he ran giant in this race.
Why?
Because he went fast early.
Well, it was a big speed track.
And that's fine, but it was also an open 12-5.
That's the key.
It's an open. He's getting beat by Dark Money.
He was running against Dark Money.
He's going to be
Dark Money
Dark
and
Money.
Dream Bigger.
Yeah.
2 horses that would be 1 to 5 in this field.
Yeah. It's a class relief play.
I hope that people realize when they see that 12-5 and I'm running for 14 today that he's dropping off a cliff for this race. He's running in a non-winners of 3 lifetime where there's a dangerous horse in here, the 5, that's 2 for 64 lifetime. And Dark Money and Dream Bigger, these are legit open claimers. It is a
Giant drop.
You rarely see this kind of drop.
Right.
You rarely see these horses running out of their conditions. And, he's been running in significantly better. The problem is he's Stanhope. And you have to worry about Brock Boninoff. He's got a very aggressive rider on him, and I don't see Jorge Vargas taken back. Not on this horse. This guy is fast. They're both fast. But Brock Boninoff's not slow.
No, he's not.
So that concerns me a little with him. And I think Debo, a horse I've never liked, is the logical other horse. I put him on top. And I just thought maybe he'd get the right trip behind him. They're the main 2 in here, though.
Yeah.
They're also the 2 that everyone's going to lean on. And the 5 Our American Star, there are some things to like. This horse, first of all, it's not like Alida Shimango's horses haven't run okay at times. And she's had some big upset winners. This horse was wide. Now, it was not a big rail last time, but this was wide against Deputy Flag, who got loose in the lead. This horse's races, from a speed figure standpoint, they're hovering to close enough. Stanhope is not a trustworthy horse. He's got to deal with Brock Boninoff.
And if you think they're going to hit.
Right. Debo isn't exactly that good. You're talking about 2 horses that have the exact same last Beyer speed figure, and one of them is 5 to 2 morning line, the other one is 15 to 1. And I think a lot of people are going to see Our American Star, and rightfully so, say this horse is 2 for 64, I don't want him. But I'm not so sure this horse doesn't have races that make him somewhat competitive. Didn't run that badly in the Papa Smooth race where he had some trouble in there on December 10th. And he's got races that are fast enough to be competitive here. And the more you look at him, I think he's the other horse in this race you want to play. X-Top, okay, you want to go 3 and 4 back, X-Top can win. His last 2, no. But 3 and 4 back, he can win. And he's probably the right third horse. But, for instance, you've got Brock Boninoff 3rd. He's not a 2. How is he possibly winning this race?
Well, if he lets Stanhope go, and Stanhope is Stanhope, he's going to be the first one to come calling on Stanhope.
So what?
Well, I think that
he's
could be enough.
He's a speed horse that needs to lead, and why would you want a speed horse that may not be able to get the lead in that race?
I'm very curious.
When do these horses ever win?
Well, I'm curious to see just how fast
I think
they go early.
He and Macho Boy are far and away the least likely winners of this race. I don't see how Brock Boninoff can possibly win this race. Well, there's one way he can win. The 4 doesn't get out of the gate. If Stanhope doesn't get out of the gate and doesn't go to the lead, and he's able to wire the field, and that maybe you want to have that insurance.
What if he gets in front of him? What if you're right? What if you're right and he's fast enough to get in front of him? If he gets in front of him, he's going to be going extremely fast to do it, and we'll hope that the track is playing somewhat fairly. That's the first 5. We'll be back with the late pick 4 after a quick break.
No sport in the world brings the wins home like racing. It's one-of-a-kind, high-speed, high-stakes action, and Naira Bets takes you there. Place your bets and watch the races live from anywhere. With Naira Bets, make easy, secure deposits and promotions every day to earn reward points or cash. Download the Naira Bets app or visit nairabets.com.
We are back. Anthony Stabile, Andy Serling. Pick six carryover starts in race 4. Race number 6.
I'm bummed out with this one, Andy.
You're bummed out.
I wanted to bet Raising Sand today.
Anthony, you got to stop with Raising Sand. He
Why?
can't run. He couldn't have won today.
He
You
could've
got to
won
stop
today.
with this horse. You
He
picked him
could've
like
won
3
today.
times, and he's not going to win.
He could've won
Stop with
today.
him. He had no chance. So you scratched into Romantic Man.
I did.
There you go.
I did.
There you go.
Stretching back out for the first time in a year.
Well, he did run big at a mile last time. I agree. He is good off his mile race.
Here we go.
Well,
Guy just
no, I
doesn't
mean,
stop.
I'm telling you what. He was only 36 and a half lengths from winning that race by a quarter of a length.
Andy, obviously something has changed because his 2 dirt races to start his career it's like a different horse. And I know they're not, I know he's not, they're not going to supplement him to the Breeders' Cup Classic, but I mean, his last 3 races
I picked him third.
have been a lot better than his
If
first.
the
I mean,
eight-
obviously something changed from that January to
Well,
July.
His figure 2 back is phony.
Okay, so even if they're all in the mid-50s, mid to upper 50s,
He's going to have to hope that the 8 absolutely can't run and the 9 absolutely can't run. And if that happens, he can win this race. You're also doing the rider that not exactly having a tremendous showing out there. Total effort.
I think the kid's okay. I just think
I don't.
Okay, I do.
I wish him all the best in life, and I wish he was better, but I'm not impressed by what I'm seeing out there. And that's
I didn't
just,
say I was impressed. I think he's okay.
he's won for 60, and he's been on some live horses. We'll disagree. We'll agree to disagree.
Yeah.
It's fine. I don't need to beat up on Bug Boys, but it's not a rider I'm looking to bet on.
No, he's a journeyman.
Total. Mania?
Yeah.
He's a journeyman?
Mm-hmm.
Why is it listed as a. I apologize. He's a journeyman. Okay. Wow. Okay. Total effort. Show his last race. Isn't he just loose in the lead in this race?
You know what? He's supposed to be, but
Oh, you think Trevor's going to rate him?
I don't want even though it's my man Wayne Potts, I don't want these Todd Pletcher cast
Your
offs.
man Wayne Potts. Okay.
I don't want them. I just don't want them. Neither one of us really. I didn't like this horse last time.
He is the
He's the horse to beat
he is the horse to beat in this race.
because he's supposed to be loose. And Trevor's probably going to put him on the lead. But
Wayne Potts has bad numbers with maidens off the claim, which we will show in a couple of seconds.
I don't trust this horse for anything. I don't trust this horse as
I'm
far
not saying I
as you could
trust
throw
him.
me.
He is far more likely to win this race than the horse you picked on top. Far more likely to win than him, because he's a better horse and he's the speed.
How could you say he's a better horse?
Last race, he ended up in the chase in that situation, a tough situation to do on those racetracks. Now, Wayne has horrendous numbers, and he does have some good numbers off the claim. It's not a big sample, but he has not good numbers. He is the horse to beat. But the reality of this race is, if the track is fair, the only question with We Ready is where to get the mile. But he is so much better than these horses, it's not even funny. And I would say he got about as awful a ride as you could possibly give a horse last time he ran. I mean, this was a day when you had to be inside to have any chance. The winner came up the inside. He got a great ride by Jose Gomez. The second horse was the inside speed. This horse broke a half to 3/4 slow that day, was 4 wide instantly, and about 4 to 6 wide around the track every step of the way. Now, listen, it's off a layoff, and there are some concerns whether he can still run anymore. I agree. But this horse got about as ridiculous a trip as you could possibly get, and he was put in a situation where he couldn't be competitive. I don't know if he's a miler, but if he can handle the mile and he shows up and this track is fair, he can't lose this race. He's so much better than these horses. It's ridiculous. I mean, he is.
I
In
think that's a
completely-
ridiculous statement to say a horse can't lose this race.
I said
but-
if he shows up.
Yeah, I know.
Anthony, the good We Ready? This horse got beaten by 3 lengths by Spun and One. I don't know where Kickerland got that race 2 back, other than the fact they knew he was going to run it. But he ran a race that day that their heads will be spinning in this race. I don't trust him a mile, and he just got a ridiculous ride last
No,
time.
I mean, and the fact that he's coming back as quickly as he is, less than 2 weeks, is a good sign because they realized that it was just a ridiculous effort last time out.
And I tell you something else. I hope he's a bigger price because people see the 10-pound bug rider, Elsa Morrison, riding this horse. I think she rides well.
I don't think she scares money away. I don't.
She shouldn't.
I don't think she
She
does.
rides well. Well, some people naturally see 10-pound
Maybe.
bug riders.
Yeah. Okay. That's a fair point. But I mean, I think if you watch her body of work, I don't think you're scared to bet on her.
No, she rides well. I just think
I'm not.
he's the worst. So I'm 8s and 9s here. Good luck with the 6.
Okay.
Race number 7. Well, my top choice scratch in race number 7, I liked Brunate. I'm a little bit grumpy about Brunate scratching, but hey, we have a video of your top choice, Tale of Mineshaft. So how about, this is his win, 3 back at Woodbine. He's never been on a dirt track before.
No, he's never been on a dirt track. And I would imagine that getting to a dirt track, where naturally these horses that put on a little bit more speed in a race like this, where you have horses like Scorpion Dynasty, who showed speed. Obviously, Forgotten Mission does nothing but go to the lead. One or two others have some peripheral speed. Yeah, I'm just hoping this horse gets a little more pace than he's accustomed to getting on the all-weather. And first-time Rob Atras, bottom level of his career.
And
a little bit of a fresh
out of
pace.
Curiosity, who are all these big speeds that you've seen signed
I
on
would
in this
imagine
race?
Forgotten Mission's going to go. I think
Okay.
Scorpion Dynasty's going to go.
Okay. So you think this will be a big fast
No, I'm just thinking he's going to get more pace than he's accustomed to getting.
But aren't slower paces on synthetic? What are you talking about? He's gotten fast paces on synthetic. Those are slow paces?
I guess the pace 2 back, but he was in a money allowance race 2 back. I'm not going to hold that race against him.
Rob Atras won a race with a horse going first time dirt from Canada earlier in the meet. That horse met an atrocious field, got a 64 buyer, getting loose on a speed track. So that horse was very fortunate. I understand this is a goofy race, and I've got him 3rd because you've got 2 horses in this race that if they wake up this morning and remember who they are, they're going to run 1-2. But they're very unreliable, starting with Malibu Star. And
I was
Malibu
going to
Star's
say, who's the other one?
Mr. Winston. I mean, I don't know what you were doing leaving him out of your top 4, but you do a lot of amazing things. Malibu Star's
Thank you,
Wedgeworth with Kelly Breen Barn is 20% with a $1.17 ROI, and that fits this horse well because this horse is going to be around 8-5 to 2-1 in here. I don't know what to do with him.
What happened?
I mean,
What has happened
he
to this
couldn't
horse?
run a step last time. He just backed the field. He was absolutely and completely atrocious.
And now this is not a drop.
no, this is a
Come get, please, somebody.
is a
Here's the
jumping off the
halter.
roof.
Here's the halter
This
and
is
the
jumping
shank.
off the roof.
Come take him.
you want him, he's all yours.
Yep. And he's going to go today. He'll go to a new home today because he does
But-
have back races, and for 16,000, there are plenty of guys and gals around here that will take a shot for 16.
But he's probably going to win this race because this is a very, very weak field.
It's a weak bunch of horses.
It's a weak bunch. And if
It's
he
a weak
shows up
bunch
and
of
remembers
horses.
even remotely what he was, he will crush this field.
Yeah,
Those
he's
are bad
supposed
stats.
to.
And I'll tell you something, this is a barn that, their horses are not running great so far lately at the meet.
Well, the
They
lone
had a-
winner was Cavassier.
Didn't they have a horse the other day that seemed a little interesting? Was it a drop down? Was it a maiden claim?
The,
Yeah, it was in the race with, there were 2 horses that could win. Bill Mott's horse, obviously, was way the horse to beat. Horse didn't even show up.
Didn't even show up.
Didn't even show up.
The
Wasn't even-
4, I think it was the 4.
Yeah, it was the 4 and 5. They were
Yep.
the 4. He
They
was
were
the
the
4.
four.
Mott was the 5.
Yep,
Yeah, the
I believe
first
so.
race. Yeah, that was maybe the last day we ran.
I think it
feels
was.
like
I think it was
feels like a
Friday.
month ago.
I know. I think it was
I know.
Friday.
But
Yeah.
that concerns me. Now, while Anthony was putting horses like Victory. Well, Victory Bill, I guess, could get 3rd or 4th. I can't knock in that. You seem to completely miss Mr. Winston. Now,
I didn't miss Mr. Winton.
yeah, you did.
No, I didn't.
You badly missed him.
No, I don't think I
You
did.
badly missed him. He is 1,000 times more likely to win this race than the 8. The 8 is probably more likely to finish ahead of him, but he is 1,000 times more likely to win this race than the 8 is. And I think you're playing pick 6s. This horse you have to include. He was against the track last time. Yeah, I know. He was virtually eased. But he was also against the track for what it's worth last time. He didn't run that badly 2 back. His race 2 back, if the favorite doesn't show up, is absolutely good enough to win this race. And I just think he makes a perfect amount of sense dropping down in this spot. I mean, he's dropping off a cliff too. You don't think that his drop matters?
I do. I just don't like with the form he's been. I mean, I don't think any
Race
of
2
his
back
last.
is fine.
I don't think any of his last 4 or 5 races gets him anything in here.
I think you're wrong.
Okay.
I don't think his race
Obviously.
his race 3 back. His race 3 back puts him right, makes him one of the worst to beat. I mean, what chance did he have in that race? That race just fell apart. Geocare won that race? I don't think he ran that badly in there. I don't know. I mean, who am I supposed to be afraid of in this race besides the 4 showing up? And I mean, the 7's got no dirt pedigree at all. I mean, this is much more of a synthetic type dirt. And I don't, it's half the 2 horses that couldn't stand up on the dirt. I mean, he's going to get bet because he's Rob Atras and he might win. I would be 4, 7, and 9 in this race and nobody else.
Okay.
I'm sorry that Bernate scratched, though. Very disappointed in that. Speaking of scratches, how about the 8th race today?
Well, we know why one of them was scratched. He'll be running in the toboggan on
Okay,
Saturday.
what about the other 3?
I don't have answers for you, my friend.
Exalted Charm. by the
Everybody
way.
looks to me for answers. I don't have all
No
the
one's
answers.
looking for answers. It was Exalted Charm was the Kelly Breen horse the other day.
Oh, I was thinking of even another one. Like the Mod Horse 1.
Chestertown?
No.
You didn't,
Yeah,
really, you didn't really pick Chestertown again.
I did. I absolutely did. I also picked Chestertown when it was a 8-horse field. And thought he had, I mean, this race now
Well, you can't win a 4-horse field. It's a 3-horse field because Famish is. Well, Famish might beat him.
probably moved a little too soon.
Famish might actually beat him. Well,
Moved a little too soon.
why is he gonna? Why do you like him here?
He is the.
Famish can beat him.
He's kind of the one-turn dirt horse. I mean, I know by Land and Sea ran well
His
enough
best races
last
are
time.
at a mile and 1/8, around 2 turns. What do you think this one? I mean, what's this
He's-
1-turn, 2-turn
He's
nonsense?
had
What does
his
that mean?
one-turn. He's had more one-turn success than some of the other horses.
Stop.
Okay.
Stop silliness.
No,
By Land and Sea has one dirt race around 1 turn that'll beat him
I don't
by
know.
a city block.
I don't know what to do with by Land and
We'll-
Sea
we'll look at
because
his last race. You
I
can tell us
kind of-
why you don't like him.
I didn't say I don't like him. I kind of feel like he should have.
He
He
should
should have probably finished up a little
He
better
should have
last
finished
time.
out a Pioneer Spirit.
Maybe-
I don't disagree.
He's supposed to finish out this job, finish out second, right? I mean,
Pioneer
listen,
Spirit's going to run last in tomorrow's 8th race, and he should have finished out of my agree. I will say that 7 furlongs is going to probably be better for him. Less distance will
could.
probably help him, but I don't disagree. It was a speed track, and that's why Pioneer Spirit
help
ran
him.
well, but he was right on top of it.
Right on top
And
of it.
I don't disagree. That's
He
why
couldn't
I didn't pick him
outrun
on
until
top.
why, that's a bad- that was bad.
I don't disagree. I don't think your horse could possibly win, but that's fine. I guess in a 4-horse field he can win. I don't see it. The truth is that Little Menace is now very dangerous with the scratches. He was atrocious last time. He got a speed track.
Awful.
He got loose in the speed track. He was atrocious. But I'm going to tell you something else. He's loose in here. He's a considerably faster horse than By Land and Sea.
Oh, no question about it.
And he's in a 4-horse field.
Yeah, no
where
question about
he's
it.
going to be loose. I mean, aren't you worried a little bit that now he can wire the field? I mean,
Andy, he was so bad last
I
time.
agree, but this is a very different situation.
guess.
See,
I mean,
listen,
back in
you like
10 days.
Chestertown. I don't know how anybody could like Chestertown. He's just not good enough. Where are his races that make him good enough to win this race? You give me that 1-turn nonsense. He's running 74, 77, 81, 72, 82, 77. None of those figures put him in even the hunt, and they don't make him as good as a bad Little Menace who's going to have the run of this race. And you're just trying to get a horse home because you've made up something about 1 turn.
Listen.
He's a 2-turn horse in actuality.
I'm going to take the horse that's the bigger price to the 3-1. I don't know. I don't trust
But
By Land and Sea off the last
race is
effort,
he-
and I don't want Little Menace off that last race.
Okay, that's
I
fine.
just don't want
But
him.
what do you like? What has
I'm hoping he
Chestertown
can just.
done
I'm
that he's
hoping
that
he'll
you
just.
like?
I'm hoping he can just get, especially now in this 4-horse field, he just pulls into the race, and he can just finish. I don't
But
like.
where is this race that
Andy,
you could say if
Andy,
he
listen.
runs back to what race does
Andy,
he run
listen.
back to that wins?
I don't trust By Land and Sea's last race. I don't like Little Menace's last race. In
But
all
what
likely-
race of this horse do you
Andy,
like?
In all likelihood, By Land and Sea is going to win this race.
The 3 may win.
In all likelihood, By Land and Sea is going to win this race because even if that last figure
He may win.
is dressed up by the track a little bit, and like you said, he's probably going to like cutting back to the 7/8. He's probably going to win this race. He's also going to be 2-5 or 3-5, and I don't necessarily want him having not been able to pass Pioneer Spirit last time.
Okay, Famish just.
It doesn't leave me with any real options here. I
original-
don't want to pick By Land and Sea, and I don't want to pick Little Menace off that last race 10 days ago. And I know it's Rob Atras, and I know they're good off the claim. But this horse was awful the other
I agree.
day.
Not as bad as Chestertown, but he was awful.
There we go. I mean, Chestertown ran well the other day. I mean, he probably moved a
no,
little too
he
soon. He
didn't.
got,
He didn't
he
move
got all
too
jammed
soon.
up along the inside.
No, he didn't.
I thought he moved a little too soon last time. That's my opinion. He got jammed up along the inside, and I think he moved a little too soon.
Okay, on the original morning line, he was 6-1, and Famished was 5 times the price. I'll take 3-1 in lunches. The Famished beats Chestertown.
I'm not betting lunches in this race. I'm not betting lunches in a 4-horse field with nonsense like Famish. I'm not doing it. But
Famished might actually be a more likely winner than Chestertown.
no, it just sounds ridiculous now.
He ran a 76 buyer, rearing at the start last time. If he didn't rear at the start, he ran an 85 buyer.
You know what? I'll
Chestertown-
give you 4-1, but one of them has to win the race.
Okay, that's fine. Okay,
There's no bet if one of them doesn't win the race.
Okay, that's
I'll
fine.
give you 4-1.
okay, that's fine.
8-2. Okay.
No, 4-1.
Oh, okay, 4-1. All right.
Ooh, I'd be over 100. Could be over 99. Could be 103 after
Wonderful.
this. Famich is a more likely winner than Chester.
Okay.
I like this bet.
Well, I just gave you 4-1.
I like that. Yeah.
But one of them has to win.
You proposed it. No, I like that.
I did
No,
propose it.
that's a good caveat. All right, well, we got a little extra excitement to today's ridiculous four-horse field feature. We had the most fun with that race you
This
could
is why
possibly
we're
have.
here, folks.
Race number 9, and this is a race we talked about earlier with
Yes.
Hot Stepper, who's running in today's second race, and we'll take a look at that race. I agree that Beach Boy Al is the one that you want out of the race, except Eminency is getting a gigantic rider change. Beach Boy Al ran the better race, being more forwardly placed in here. The problem is that Raw Courage was the one he was dueling with, right?
Correct.
He finished ahead of him. Not that he's that bad. He's in our last race on Saturday. Aren't you worried about Pineapple Man?
Yes.
That's
$1,000,000%.
my concern with
Of
the
course.
3.
Of
If the
course.
4 wasn't in this race, I think the 3 was
Yeah.
as you like to say, a piper.
Yeah, Piper. But I agree. Yeah, no question about it.
But
You have
isn't
to be
the
a little
rider
concerned.
switch on Eminency?
So I'm going to ask you.
scary?
I'm going to ask you a question. Do you think the kid did anything wrong last night?
No. But Trevor's just a better rider.
$1,000,000%.
You're not wrong. The kid
$1,000,000%.
rode the horse well last time.
Now let me ask you this question.
He rode it well. I agree.
How much money do you think that, and this is a horse that was destined to be the favorite anyway. How much money do you think the rider change is going to give you on a horse who, quite frankly, I know he was against the track a little bit, but even you said it was not that giant of a rail day. It was kind of a more even day.
He wasn't against the track last time.
Okay? He wasn't against the track last time.
He had a perfect trip.
Do we kind of worry about this horse's last race having
Yeah,
all that bang
yeah,
up and
yeah.
he's not able to pick those horses
Yep.
up? I think you have to.
And,
I don't care who's riding
and
them.
there's nothing to suggest that an extra furlong is supposed to help him.
Correct.
I don't disagree with you.
Yeah.
I don't disagree.
Between Trevor
I'm just
and Trevor's
worried
a
about
buddy.
the 4
Trevor-
hurting the 3's
I
chances.
don't disagree
but
with that either.
I'm
Trevor's
picking
a-
a horse, by the way, that might be the worst pick that either one of us has made in the entire card. I'm picking Tiz the Law's half-brother, and Tiz the Law is not telling anybody that Infeasible is running the last race today. My feeling is he ran a very strong field. Manny had to ride him hard to get position out of the outside post. It was essentially a merry-go-round race,
Yep.
and I want to give him another chance as a stranger not coming out of that other race. But
And the winner might be okay.
well, the winner is
Johnny.
probably
Yeah,
okay. I
winner's
don't know
okay.
the others, and we'll see a bunch of them running in the last race. But I'm hoping he needed the start. I'm hoping that he had to ride him into the race, and maybe he'll just be a better horse second time. But it's a bit of a wing and a
He's
prayer.
probably going to want a little bit more ground too, so the mile should help.
I don't know if he will
He
or
gets
not.
stuck with another outside draw, but outside draw going a mile is a lot easier than the outside draw going 6. I
Well, depends how
think.
the track is playing. But,
Yeah.
yeah, I just thought he was the alternative to them, but I don't have any confidence. The 2, State Planning, is the weirdo in here in the sense that he did get completely left last time, and he's going out for a trainer that's dangerous, but he didn't do any running after getting left. But he did break 4 lengths behind the field.
Yeah.
All right. It's been fun. It's good to be back. It's kind of interesting. It looks sort of foggy out, but it's not foggy. It's just a cloud cover. It's a cloud cover.
It's a low. It's there's low
It's
clouds.
not it's not foggy on the track.
It's
Yeah.
low cloud.
All right. You need to head over to Naira Bets.
Oh wow, we used all our
Once
time.
again, keep Anthony employed 200.
I like Stabile better.
Match up to 200. Keep Stabile employed?
Yeah, I like that better.
Keep Anthony employed. We're in a first name base around here. We'll match for $200 of your initial deposit. Once you've joined Naira Bets, you can enjoy the many fruits that Naira Bets has to offer, which include
Ta-da!
$15 bonus. You have 50 or more on Aqueduct and Turf Paradise. Don't forget, you must opt in to all of these.
All of the
Opt
promotions.
in.
You can do it right now for the entire weekend here at the Big A.
Yeah,
and
I
across the
was talking
country.
to Steve Christ. He told me that it was a chalky sequence at Sam Houston, but he got like a similar amount that he won on the pick on the late pick 4 or pick 5, whichever. Pick 4, I think.
Pick
on
5 was the
pick
hit and split.
Whatever
yeah.
it was. No, that was the Santa Anita. I think we had one in Sam Houston on Sunday.
We did.
And it was pick 5? Okay. It
was pick 5,
Anyway, that worked out. And we got 10 times points on the Gulfstream Exactas. I have not looked at Gulfstream today. Not surprising. I rarely do.
Calendar's changed, by the way. I'm
And,
sorry to interrupt you. So the February calendar's a little different now.
Okay.
That stays the
And
same,
10
though.
times points, and do I work hard? Let's see, Hot Rod Charlie running tomorrow against a bunch of horses that you thought had gone into the Bermuda Triangle. You never hear
Nobody
about the
talks about
Bermuda
the Bermuda
Triangle. It's really, no, it's really
we
kind of
spent too much time
disappointing.
together.
No, I'm fascinated. by
Never
the
hear
Bermuda
about it
Triangle.
anymore.
Well, I have horses that go into the Bermuda
You
Triangle.
never hear about it anymore?
It's full up with horses.
Bigfoot.
Pick 6 carryover. I'm not. Bigfoot doesn't really mean much to me. We got a carryover on the pick 6. Starts in race 4. $31,130. John Imbrial, the man, the voice of Naira, up next with a reprise of the scratches and changes. Have a wonderful day and good luck.
Hello, racing fans, and once again, welcome to Aqueduct. Cloudy skies with some fog here at the Big A. The main track is good, and it is sealed. In today's first race, note that number 1, Regal Empire, will wear a mask. Second race, scratch number 2, St. Luke's. Scratch the 2, St. Luke's. No changes in the third. The fourth race will start the pick 6. We have a carryover today of $31,130. And in the fourth, scratch number 8, Room Jar. Scratch the 8 out of race 4. In the fifth race, number 7, Macho Boy, will have blinkers on. Blinkers on, number 7, Macho Boy. Sixth race, scratch the 1, Raising Sand. Scratch number 1, and number 7 is 1 pound over. In the seventh race, scratch 1, My Cousin Rich, part of an entry, and scratch the 6, Brunati. Scratch 1 and scratch 6, and a rider change on the 1A. Scorpion Dynasty will now be ridden by Andre Worry. Andre Worry on the 1A, Scorpion Dynasty. Moving to the 8th race, and there will be no show, trifecta, or superfecta on the 8th. Scratch 2, Answer In. 6, Gemography. Scratch 7, Repo Rocks, and 8, Sibelius. In the 8th, scratch 2, 6, 7, and 8. And in the 9th race, scratch the 10, Barrel of Quests. Scratch number 10, Barrel of Quests. And number 5 is 3 pounds over. Main track, good and sealed. Pick 6 carryover, more than $31,000. The Thursday opener at Aqueduct in 27 minutes at 12:50.
I think when people watch it on TV, they think that it's just a rich man's sport and there's nothing else involved. But when people actually come into this side of the sport and they see, and it puts a lot of dollars back into the industry in New York, and we need to protect that.
Working here, it's given me a life and a sense of security for not only myself financially, but also to provide for my family. Ideally, I would love to have my career here.
I'm a single mom. I was able to raise my son and put him through college, and something I'm very proud of, and I couldn't do it without New York racing.
In the backstretch, there is a community that surrounds the racetrack. People that work day in, day out, loving what they are doing.
I mean, there's electricians, there's plumbers, there's carpenters. There's all these men and women who do jobs every day.
One horse requires a hot walker, a groomer, a person who's going to walk them to the races, the people who take care of them every day. And we need all these people to take care of the horses and to continue moving forward in New York racing.
This job has given me not only hope for tomorrow, but has made so many of my wishes come true.
We're really real people back here working our butts off to make this happen. It's a commitment. There's a lot of people back here that depend on this place.
I had the opportunity to go back to school thanks to the jobs provided for us here.
Our industry is vital within this state.
We are New York racing.
We are New York horse racing.
Jobs.
Opportunity.
Community.
We are New York racing.
We are New York horse racing.
We are New York racing.
Want to get your career in horse racing off to a fast start? Well, the University of Arizona's Racetrack Industry Program is your winning ticket. The Racetrack Industry Program has served as a springboard to some of the industry's most successful individuals, with a proven track record of job placement right out of college. If you want to earn a degree in the exciting horse racing industry,